This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, let's get started. A very warm welcome to this Microsoft System Center Config Manager session. I hope you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
So
see.
yesterday we discussed about a few things. Um, let me just take you to the slide. So we discussed about the historical details of SCCM, when SCCM started, and what all versions released by Microsoft, and what is the latest version of SCCM. So the latest and greatest version of SCCM at the moment is 1906. Okay, so previously it was System Management Server, started in 1994 with multiple versions. Later on they changed the name as System Center Config Manager with multiple versions. So every year they are releasing 3 versions of SCCM, and the latest and greatest version of SCCM is 1906. That's the history of SCCM. Then the certification, we have discussed this yesterday, that the exam code is 70-703, and the cost of this exam is $160, and the passing marks is 700 out of 1000. You need to score at least 1000 to score to pass this exam, and you will be awarded as MCTS. Then we talked about the opportunities in SCCM. Now there are 3 sites in SCCM: central, primary, and secondary. So this one is optional site. Secondary site is also an optional site, but the primary is mandatory site. Without primary, you will not be able to manage devices. So you have to have a primary site server to start managing your devices. Now, what is a central administration site? Central administration site is an optional site, as we discussed earlier. And the reason why we need a central administration site is because of these 2 reasons. Suppose you are running a company where you have more than 100,000 devices. So when you have more than 100,000 devices and more than one primary site, then only you need a central administration site. Otherwise, central administration site is not needed. So that's the first thing, is it's an optional site. That's the first thing. The second thing is it is needed when you have more than 100,000 devices to manage, plus you have more than one primary site. That's the second thing you need to note. And it needs SQL Server database to store the configuration. All the data will be stored inside this SQL Server database. It does not process client assignment. That means the client, SCCM is what? SCCM is a server and client facing tool. So you have SCCM server, and you need to install client in all computers. Let's say you have 10,000 computers. 10,000 computers. So the client, SCCM client, has to be installed in each and every computer. So this client will always talk to the primary site server. Okay, you have cache server, but the client will never talk to cache server. That is not possible. Client will always talk to primary site server. Got it, guys? Clear?
Yes.
So you need to understand point number 1, optional. Point number 2, because if you have more than 1,000 device, more than 100,000 devices and more than one primary site. Point number 3, it needs a SQL Server database, and it has got nothing to do with the client. Okay, client assignment, none of the client, the cache server. Okay, that is how what the central administration site is all about. Basically, central administration site is managing is uh, uh, is for sites, not for devices. So let's say there are two primary site 1 and primary site 2. Both of them will report to this, just for administration and reporting purpose, nothing else. We don't deploy any application or policies from central administration side. It is just for reporting and administration and inventory purpose. Now we have primary site. Now this is the main site in SCCM. Everything will be done through this one. It's a mandatory site. The total number of devices a primary site can manage is 100,000 devices. One primary site can support up to 100,000 devices. Okay, primary site, that's the first point. Second point is it manages up to 100,000 devices. The second thing is it needs it is managing devices in well connected network. It manages clients in well connected network. Then point number 4, it also needs a SQL database. Just like cache server, central administration site, primary site also needs a database. It supports client assignment. As I showed you in the previous slide, that SCCM primary site, let's say PS primary site, all the clients, let's say 10,000 devices are there. The client which are installed on these 10,000 devices, they will always talk to primary site. So client assignment, talking means the assignment, the policies will be coming from the primary site. Okay, site assignment will be always primary site. So that's the point number 5, you have to make a note now. So it's a mandatory site. One primary site can support up to 100,000 devices. It manages clients in well connected network. It requires a SQL server database, and it supports client assignment. All good, guys? Clear?
Yes.
That's clear.
Then you have secondary side. One secondary side is supporting up to 15,000 devices. Previously it used to be 5,000, but now it is capable to support up to 15,000 devices. That's the secondary side capability. So it is also an optional site. So that's the point number 1. Point number 2, one secondary site is supporting up to 15,000 devices. But why do we need a secondary site? We know central administration site is needed when we have more than 100,000 devices, we have more than one primary site. That's for central administration site. For primary site, it is the main site. Without primary site, you cannot manage devices. But why do we need a secondary site? Secondary site is needed for branch offices where the devices are located in remote location. Got it? Suppose you started a business with the headquarter in Mumbai and branch offices in different region, let's say Mexico. So devices in Mexico um, will be managed through secondary site server. Understood, guys? Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, so that is the third point is it manages devices on the remote location. Point number 4 is it needs either SQL Express or SQL Server database, anything of your choice. But we normally go with SQL Express because this is free. We don't have to pay anything. This is free of cost. So we'll use SQL Express to store the data. So primary secondary, central, all site needs a database. So primary site needs a SQL Server database. Central administration site also needs a SQL Server, but secondary can be taken. We can take SQL Express for secondary to store the data. It does not process client assignment, so none of the client are talking to secondary site. I mean, assignment is not there. However, the client will be downloading content from here. It will be sending the inventory here in secondary site, but the assignment will always to the primary site. All devices will always be assigned to the primary site. Okay. The capability of central administration site, 700,000 devices, one central administration site supports. One primary site supports 100,000 devices, and one secondary site supports 15,000. This slide is a little old, so it is 15,000 devices. Clear?
Yes.
Now, I explained this to you yesterday, the architecture. Give me 1 minute. Okay, guys. So I have already discussed this diagram yesterday, that there are three architecture in SCCM. The first one is for a small size company. The second one is for medium size company. And the third one is for big size company. Got it, guys?
Yes.
When you don't have any branch offices, you go with only one primary site, without any secondary, without any central. Let's say Houston had like 50,000 devices, for example. So one primary site will be managing all the devices in Houston. Now suppose you become a medium sized company, now expanded your business to one branch office in Seattle, another branch office in Boston. So you will need a secondary site here, a secondary site here, and both of them will report to the primary site in Houston. Now the third example architecture is for big size company. Suppose you have a big organization. Okay, for example, this one is Accenture or Deloitte or IBM, wherein you have more than 100,000 devices, right? So you need a cache server on the top of the hierarchy, and the primary site, there are primary site, let's say primary site 1, primary site 2, and primary site 3. All these primary site will report to central administration site. And this primary site, which is there in America region, Houston, will be managing all the devices in Americas. Okay. The second primary site, which is in London, will be managing all the devices in Europe. The third primary site which is there in Shanghai, like Asia Pacific, it will be managing all the devices in Asia Pacific. Got it? So this example, for example, there are 300,000 devices, 100,000 devices in America, right? Another 100,000 devices in Europe, another 100,000 devices in APAC, Asia Pacific. So that's how you deploy SCCM in multiple region, so that devices in Americas can be managed through a primary site in America. Devices in Europe can be managed by Europe primary site. Similarly for Asia Pacific. Any question in this one, guys? In this architecture? Hmm?
Good.
Okay. This is also one of the example for 200,000 devices. So suppose this 200,000 devices, 100,000 devices in APAC, for example, another 100,000 devices in Europe. So we will have one primary site in Europe, another primary site in Asia Pacific, and both will report to central administration site of this will report here, this will report here, and the secondary site will be reporting to its respective primary site, and these secondary site will be reporting to its respective primary site. Okay.
Okay.
Now the database replication happens from downward to upward like this. So the secondary side database will be replicated from downward to upward like this, the primary side database, and from primary it will go to central. So central administration site will be the master database. It will have the information about all the devices in all the region. Let's say the devices in Americas, devices in Europe, and devices in APAC. So this database will contain the information of APAC devices. This database will contain the information about Europe devices. And this database contain the information about Americas. But this database will have Americas, all of them, plus APAC, plus Europe, because ultimately all these databases are getting replicated on the top with central administration side. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Now we have site roles in SCCM. Okay, there are multiple site roles in SCCM, like management point, distribution point, software update point, fallback status point, application catalog, website point, web service point, application SMS provider, asset intelligence, endpoint protection, reporting services, service connection point, state migration point. These things we will discuss later on, why we need these roles and what is the purpose of these roles. Later on we will discuss. These are the roles which you can install on either primary site, or you can install on secondary site, or you may install on any other Windows server. Okay, understood? And one of the role, you have to install this reporting services point on database server. Reporting services point will always be installed on the database server. Okay, we'll talk about these things later on, guys. Now yesterday we talked about the SCCM features and functionalities. So the first functionality of the feature of SCCM is asset management. That means if you have like thousands and thousands of devices, you can get the hardware and software inventory of the devices. Let's say you can find out how many computers with 10 gigabyte of RAM, how many computers with you know uh, a Windows 10 operating system, how many computers has a particular software installed. So you can get everything from the devices. So that's the first thing, hardware and software inventory. Second one is asset intelligence. So basically in asset intelligence we um, get the information about devices. Sorry, we categorize the software. Like there are like 50, for example, there are like 50,000 devices. Okay, I'm getting background noise. Can everyone put yourself on mute, please? Okay, I have muted everyone. Now, for example, there are 50,000 software installed in 10,000 computers. So in order to categorize these software, let's say some software belongs to browser family, like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox. They come under browser family. Some application are coming under player family, like VLC media player. Um, you have MX player, window media player, right? There are multiple iTunes player. So those application will be coming under player family. Then you have like what else? Browser player database. Let's say SQL database. Some application belong to database category, right? Database. SQL database. Then you have Sybase database. Sorry, Sybase. Then you have Oracle database, right? Um, what else? You have a PSQL, right? You have MongoDB. So these application falls under database category. So basically, to categorize the software, you don't have to manually categorize. SCCM will help you to do the category of all these applications, right? Plus you can also do using asset intelligence, you can also manage licenses. So suppose you purchase 500 license for Adobe Acrobat, for example, and you have start giving Adobe Acrobat license to the computers. So it will give you the inventory of how many computers this license is being consumed, how many license are consumed already, and how many license are available. So basically the license inventory, you can get it from asset intelligence. Got it, guys? Hardware inventory and asset intelligence. Any question? Anyone? The third one is software metering. Software metering is to get the utilization details. Suppose you would like to find out that um, how many times VLC media player is utilized in the computers. Suppose you would like to find out the utilization of uh, Firefox or Google Chrome or Adobe Acrobat, right? So if you would like to get the utilization details of any software, you can do it from through this software metering. Then this is the main functionality of SCCM. uh, the first thing is you do application management, like you can deploy application. For example, you have 2,000 devices in Mumbai, right? another 2000 devices in NY, New York, another like 10,000 devices in London, for example. And you need to deploy Google Chrome or any application, not just Google Chrome, to these devices. Either you install manually to these 14,000 computers, it will take ages, right? So you can upload this Google Chrome into SCCM, and through SCCM you can deploy Google Chrome to these devices in Mumbai, New York, and London. Got it, everyone? Clear? Vikas, Prem, James,
It's
any
clear.
question, guys? The second thing is software update. Software update is very crucial now, because our computers are Windows computers are very vulnerable, the most vulnerable operating system on the face of the earth. uh, People are trying to hack Windows computer because Windows is widely used all over the globe. So if your computer, what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is releasing updates on second Tuesday of every month. Second Tuesday every month, monthly basis. Now if you have like office application, um, you have like Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows Server, there are like 50,000 devices, for example, and you need to update them. So either you update manually, right, one by one, or you can ask a user to connect to the internet and do it yourself, or you can do it through SCCM. So SCCM is the one which will help you to deploy the patches. So you will have SCCM here. We will be taking the update from Microsoft into SCCM and then deploying the update into these computers. Clear, everyone? That's the second major role of SCCM. Now, the third thing is operating system deployment. So in order to deploy operating system, let's say there is a computer and I need to load Windows 10 OS on it. Either you install using disk, the CD disk or the USB, right? Or you can do it through SCCM. So through SCCM, you can deploy operating system on this computer. So that operating system is possible through SCCM itself. Then content management, whatever the contents are present in SCCM, you can manage those contents. Like these are contents in SCCM, so you manage through SCCM. So far we have discussed asset management and client management, guys. Now the third, there are still some pending in client management. So we have compliance setting. Compliance is basically to find out how many computers are compliant and how many computers are non-compliant. So suppose there is a computer, let's say 2000 computers, and you need to find you need to make sure a setting is present. Let's say if that setting in present in registry, in every computer that setting has to be present in the registry, right? So if that is present, then it will be compliant. If this will be compliant, if not present, then it will be non-compliant. Got it? That's the compliance setting, guys. So you can find out how many computers are compliant, non-compliant based on registry, file system, application. There are many things you can define. Power management. Suppose there are 5,000 computers in Mumbai, right? And people work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the afternoon. I mean, in the evening. So after 6 p.m., nobody is available. So what I can do after 6 p.m., I can apply a power policy so that this will turn off the monitors of these 5,000 computers, or this will put them into sleep mode or hibernate mode. These computers will be in sleep mode and hibernate mode till the people are not, the whole night when the people are not available in the company. So using this, we can reduce the power consumption in night time, and ultimately we will reduce the electricity cost. So that is power management we can define through SCCM. Then client health. SCCM is a server and client facing tool. I already discussed about that thing. So suppose 5,000 or 50,000 devices, and you have a SCCM server here. You need to install client in each computer. If the client is installed and working fine, then the client will report back to the server and they will be considered as healthy client. If the client is installed but it is unable to connect to report to this server due to some reason, then that will be considered as unhealthy, right? So you will get a dashboard of healthy client and unhealthy client. How many clients? Let's say there are 1,000 healthy clients and 200 unhealthy clients. You will get the list of those 200 devices, and you can start checking what is the issue with them. All good, guys? James, Prem.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Endpoint protection, antivirus like AVG or Norton Semantic, you can deploy antivirus that is already integrated in SCCM. You don't have to purchase a license for antivirus. By default, that comes with SCCM license, so you can deploy antivirus to computers. Mobile device management, you can manage your mobile devices. It was there, now it is deprecated. It was previously there to manage your Android, iPad, iPhone devices, mobile devices. But since from September 2019, they have now stopped integrating mobile device management in SCCM. So previously we used to integrate Intune in SCCM. So in SCCM we used to integrate Intune, but that is deprecated by Microsoft from this September. So now you cannot manage mobile devices. Those who are using already, they can do it, but the new user cannot do it because Microsoft wants everyone to go on the standalone portal, Intune portal. Then we have administrative feature. In administrative feature, basically you have the first thing is role-based administration. Suppose if James is good with application deployment, I'm gonna give him application deployment role in SCCM. If he is good with um, patch deployment, patching, I'm gonna give him patch deployment role in SCCM. So there are many roles present in SCCM based on the expertise of the people. we have set of defined roles in SCCM. We can assign those roles to the people based on their expertise. Remote management using right now I am sharing my screen with you guys, right? You don't have to purchase GoToMeeting or WebEx or any other tool from the market. You can do through SCCM. You can ask user to share their screen through SCCM. Okay, they don't have to purchase any third-party tool. SCCM will help you to take remote of the user's computer. User can share his screen with you if user is facing some problem and he would like to share the screen and show you the issue, just like I'm sharing my screen with you guys. Now reporting, you have multiple formats, Excel, PDF, CSV, Word document. There are multiple formats available in SCCM reporting section. Then monitoring, you can monitor the site and site roles of SCCM. There are multiple sites like primary site, secondary site, central administration site. So you can monitor them whether they are uh, working fine, or if there are any alerts or something, you can monitor them. Okay, those sites and site roles. You don't have to purchase a third-party tool to monitor these components of SCCM. It will be SCCM itself who will monitor it. All good, guys?
Yeah, it's good.
Yes. Now we will be doing a lab. Uh, Everyone will have to set up your lab either on local computer, or we do it on Microsoft Azure Cloud Data Center. So suppose if you are doing on local computer, you need to have minimum 12 gigabyte of RAM, quad core processor, and 300 GB of hard drive space. And if you do not have uh, the minimum configuration for SCCM lab, then you can do it on Azure Cloud Data Center. For Azure Cloud Data Center, you just need one computer with internet connection, without irrespective of the configuration, whatever the configuration, we are not bothered about it. One computer with internet connection, and we will be setting up our lab in the cloud. We will be creating our computers, virtual machines in the cloud, and will connect to these virtual machines using this computer. And that lab will be 24 by 7. Anytime you can log in and access. So, but the only thing is, in Azure you get 30 days free trial. It is not free, guys. 30 days free, and later on, if you would like to continue, you will have to pay to Microsoft. Okay. Now the local lab setup, if you are doing local lab setup, the lab is installed on your computer, on your laptop or desktop, and that will be for 180 days, 6 months. So that is we can use SCCM for in trial mode, and for 6 months. I think I did not discuss about the licensing of SCCM. So SCCM comes with two licensing in SCCM. So there are two types of license in SCCM. One is data center license, and the second one is standard license. Now for data center license, you get the whole suite, the SCCM system center suite. So you get SCCM, you get SCOM, you get SCVM, SCSM. There are multiple products inside. The SCCM is one of the products inside this data center. If you take standard just SCCM, so the license cost is somewhere around 3,800 US dollar. This is US dollar for one standalone primary site server. Got it? And for suite, it is somewhere around 10,000 US dollar. Okay. All good, guys? Clear?
Yeah, for data center, how do I get it from on the internet?
This license?
No, to install on the cloud on my computer.
I'll guide you step by step. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I have cough. My voice is not so good today.
Okay. Now, so the lab architecture will be like we will have our SCCM server, we will have our domain controller server, and we will have our Windows database. So we will have DC, domain controller, SCCM, and that will be the standalone primary site server. And we will have DB, database, and one client computer, let's say Windows 10. Okay, and all of them will be connected on the same LAN network. So DB, SCCM, database, domain controller, and Windows 10, all of them will be communicating on the same LAN network so that they can talk to each other. So that will be our lab architecture, which I have also mentioned like this. We will have one domain controller server, another server that will be primary site server, another one the database, and one client computer. All of them will be connected on the same LAN network. Got it, guys? Any question in this? So that will be our standalone primary site, but later on we will add one more site server here. Let's say here secondary site. We will add one secondary site. So and that secondary site will report to primary site.
Hello.
Now, yes.
Sir, can we install DC SCCM SQL on only one server? Or we need
DC and
three separate SCCM and SQL server on one server machine?
your voice is breaking up.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can we install domain controller, SCCM primary site server, and SQL server database on one single server PC? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you can install, but you don't. We normally don't do it in production environment. We always keep it separate. You want to install like SCCM, DC, and DB on one server, right? That is
Yes.
possible.
Okay.
But when we do like this, you will not get the production exposure. In production, we will always keep them separate. Normally in production there are two types of architecture. This will never be the deployment. We will never install DC and SCCM together. We will always have like either DC and SCCM and database, three different server, or DC and SCCM plus DB, both. So Microsoft recommends this one and this one, both of them.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Understood, or any question?
No, understood.
No,
Whose
it's
question
good.
was that?
Because
Okay. Is my voice clear, guys, or breaking up?
breaking, sir.
No,
For
you're clear.
everyone, or for everyone, for just Vikas?
You're
Gurpreet?
clear to me.
Okay. Prem? Prem, Gurpreet? Is my voice clear? Arfat? Is my voice clear? I don't hear anything from other people.
No, me, James, you are very clear to me.
Okay, so Vikas, I think you will have to, huh?
My side also clear.
Okay, so Vikas, you looks
Hello,
like
hello,
you
can you
have
hear me?
some. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, this is Prem. Okay, no, I was trying to tell you that, I was just chatting here, so probably you might not
Oh,
have,
okay.
gone through that. So, yeah, your voice is breaking, and I think your internet is a little bit slow. That's the reason why, the screen also, moving not promptly. Anyways, I think it's working
No, no,
fine
no,
now.
no, 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 no. Wait. My voice is breaking for everyone. I need to know, is it for everyone or just for you guys?
Mine is
Yeah,
clear.
Uh,
I'm
Gurpreet,
hearing you clearly, James.
Arfat.
I hear you clearly.
Okay, I don't think my internet connectivity is having some issue. Let me just check because let me just check. I have a good internet connectivity. Class speed test.
Uh, would you be able, I mean, you have been recording this class, right?
Yes.
Because I just
No,
missed
I
the
have. Yeah, I'll share that. Yeah, you missed the first 10 minutes.
yeah.
My internet
Because I was
connectivity
waiting
is
on for
good.
that.
Can you check at your end? It looks like people are
Okay,
hearing
okay.
fine,
I'll
except
do it.
Vikas and Prem.
Okay.
I'll do that from my end. Just give me a speed
Okay,
test.
so I will share this recording, guys, with you, and you may watch the recording. Now, any question in the session? What we have done so far, James and Gurpreet and everyone, all good?
Yeah, it's good, James.
Now, I'm gonna send one email to you. Now, everyone is going on cloud, I think, right? Or anyone is going on local setup? Hmm?
No, me, I'm going on cloud,
Cloud.
James.
Okay. Anyone going on
Yeah.
local setup? Apart, uh, let me know. No one? Okay, fine. So I'm gonna send one email to you,
Okay.
those who are going on cloud. Okay, I'm gonna forward this to resend this message. I'm gonna send email to can you tell me your email address, James? What's your email address?
JORING
Jo
777 at gmail.com.
Okay,
Yeah, that's it. Mm.
fine. Gurpreet, what's your email address? You guys send on the what's chat window if you want. I think you guys have the Vikash. This is your email
Yes.
address, right?
Yes, yes.
And this is Gurpreet's email address, I think. Okay. Prem, what is your email address?
It's SPREM
SPREMRAN.
RAN JAN.
Mm-hmm.
It's not J for G
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com.
Okay. I think I have included everyone. James, Vikash, uh, Gurpreet, and Prem. So everyone is going on cloud, right? So you will have to follow these steps, guys. Okay. You need to go to this website, create a new account, Microsoft account, and then you need to create your Azure free trial for 30 days. And that will ask you for your details. It also needs your credit card, but just for the verification. That's a Microsoft website, so don't worry
I don't
about.
have credit card. Will I be still able to do with the help of debit card, or will I definitely need a credit card?
Mhm.
I mean, is a credit
Uh,
card mandatory or debit works still fine?
Debit card. I think that will work, but you try. Uh, let's see. If that does not work, let me know. Okay, I will.
Okay.
I'll help you. So you will need to do these steps and keep your account ready, so that from tomorrow onwards we will start doing the lab setup. You will start doing the installation and all.
Okay.
Okay. So create your Azure free trial, and that will be 30 for 30 days, and you will get 200 credit, $200 US dollar credit in your account, and we will be utilizing that $200 credit in order to create our resources, like our virtual machines, virtual network, and everything in the cloud. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So everyone keep it ready before you join tomorrow, and then we will start doing all the practicals.
Okay.
Okay, guys, any question before we wrap
Kindly.
it up? Yeah.
Okay, you'll be sharing the drive, right? The two lectures. I mean, the email.
Sharing what? Sorry, I'm getting background noise. Sorry.
No, I meant to say you'll be sharing the video, right? To the drive,
Yes, I'll
the video there.
I'll share
Okay,
I'll
okay,
share the link to you guys. You need to download it. Okay. I'm getting
okay,
background noise
fine.
from where I'm not sure. Any question before we wrap it up? Vikash, Gurpreet,
Hello.
James, Prem. Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
Sir, I want to know, is it compulsory to learn SQL database server?
No, 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 no. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm getting background noise from Prem. Okay.
For me,
Fine.
my
No
end.
worries.
Okay, I'm muted.
Okay. Fine. No worries. Let's meet tomorrow, same time, and we'll start doing all the practicals. Make sure you guys keep the account ready, the Azure account.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm gonna make one more thing. Wait. Um, one more thing. Let me just open Notepad here. This is my WhatsApp number, guys. 919892398923543331. Make a note of it and send me a hi message. I'm gonna create one WhatsApp group with you, all of you guys, so that whatever we are learning and sharing, we will be sharing on that WhatsApp group. Okay. Everyone will send me a hi message, right? Okay, send me a hi message. I'm gonna create a one WhatsApp group with everyone. There is one Gurpreet. When you say database replicated to cache, is the data replicated from primary to cache, or the complete database is replicated? The data is replicated, not the complete database. Data, only the information, or the complete data, only the information, Gurpreet. What is the second question? Oh, waiting to see the real time and database, does both look have a difference? Does both look same or have difference? I'm not sure what is the question. I am
My
planning to
question
localize
was,
both.
when you told me about the Azure and the local app setup, will
Hmm.
both outlook, I mean, will both look the same or makes any difference? That's what I asked.
Same. Can you also send email to virtual machine on premises? Okay, Gurpreet is asking me to send the local setup. Let me send him the local setup as well. Give me 1 second. Gurpreet is looking
Yeah,
for the local.
please do that for me as well. Probably in my future it will help.
Okay, so I'm gonna send this to Gurpreet. Spreet Spreet 2442. I think, what is the email address? Yeah. And who else need this?
I need
Prem.
this frame.
What was your email address? Can you spell again?
SP. Yes, you just type in SPR. Yes.
Okay, fine. So this is for Gurpreet and Prem, not for you guys. I'm not sending to other people. I think only for Gurpreet for now. I send that to Gurpreet and Prem. Okay. Anything else before we wrap it up? Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet again same time tomorrow. Thanks. Bye, guys.